What is up, everybody? My name is JP, and today I'm playing a little bit of Mass Effect 2, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Mass Effect 4. So I'm assuming that you've played these games, and I'm just going to go off on talking about them as if you have played those games, of course. But to get started, Mass Effect 4 is a confirmed game. They've talked about it. BioWare is working on it. They talked about it at E3 this year, and it's probably going to come out in about 2014. That's my guess. That was also BioWare's guess, and you can basically guarantee that it's going to come out in 2014 because Mass Effect 1 came out in 2008, Mass Effect 2 was 2010, and 3 was 2012, so they're kind of on a 2-year basis there. And they've been talking a lot about what they're going to do with Mass Effect 4, because Mass Effect 3 kind of didn't leave room for a Mass Effect 4, but at the same time it did leave room. And it just depends on how you interpret the ending. So if you don't know about the ending, basically Shepard tries to control the Reapers or synthesize with them or destroy them, and Shepard will end up supposedly dying to save the universe. But if you choose the bad ending, because there's 3 endings, supposedly the bad ending is, it's called Destroy, and you end up destroying all synthetic life, I guess, in the universe, are all robots technically. And it's made out to be like the bad ending. But if you choose the bad ending, after everything's destroyed, Shepard wakes up, which would be impossible seeing as Shepard was on a space station that exploded, and he was at the heart of the explosion, therefore he would not have been able to survive, and he wakes up in rubble on Earth, which Earth is not space either. So that kind of just explains that it was a dream, indoctrination attempt. If you haven't heard about the indoctrination attempt, look it up. Did I say indoctrination attempt? Sorry, it's called the Indoctrination Theory. Look it up. It's by Clever Noobs, and they put, it's like a 4-hour, if you put them all together, documentary on this theory, and I'm assuming that's basically proven. I believe it. It's almost, there's so much evidence there that's kind of impossible not to believe, and I'm pretty certain Mass Effect picked up that ending, even if they didn't mean to have it in the first place. So they do have room to go off and make a Mass Effect 4, continuing with Shepard's story. Even if you don't play as Shepard, you can still go off of his story, and it would make sense, because if in Mass Effect 3 you didn't choose the destroy option and you became successfully indoctrinated, then it would make sense in Mass Effect 4 for the character you play as to fight Shepard as an enemy or a antagonist. And if you chose the destroy option, where Shepard successfully avoids the indoctrination attempt, it would make sense to work with Shepard as the character you are playing. And that would make sense, and it would, I think that's the best way to make everybody happy. And there's been talk about them not doing this. They're thinking about going back, technically, making prequels and going off of other people's stories. Some of the Mass Effect 4, writers, whatever you want to call them, producers, they talked about how they might focus on someone else's story, and it might not have to do with the Reapers at all. Like, they might focus on Elusive Man's story, or they might focus on, if you did get the From Ashes DLC in Mass Effect 3, where you have the living Prothean as your follower, they might focus more on his story. You might play as him. Same with Garrus, they might focus on Garrus's story, but it would be a prequel. Like, you might even play as a Krogan in the Krogan Wars and whatever they're talking about, and I think it's absolutely stupid and it should not go in that direction. And my reason for that being is they have already come out with the 3 Mass Effect games that sort of define the ending of the cycle in which humans survive. And in Mass Effect 3, that never actually really came to an end, seeing as Shepard was only dreaming. So it doesn't really make sense that they would just go back and just leave that ending wide open. Like, if it doesn't make sense to me, and it would be stupid, because if I were to be playing a Mass Effect 4, which it's going to be called, that's what BioWare said it would be called. If I were to play Mass Effect 4, and it would take place like 500 years in the past, during like the Krogan Wars or whatever time period that was, I would always be thinking about how in 500 years, that's when Shepard's story would take place and the Reapers would be coming back. And also, the main reason I also don't think they should do this is Mass Effect is based off of decisions. And your decisions will affect you from game to game. Seeing as I'm playing Mass Effect 2 here, and in this Mass Effect 2 game, because of the way I played Mass Effect 1, say Kaidan Alenko is living in this game. And then I was more of a Paragon choice. Rex lives in this game. Captain Kirrahe is living in this game because of my decisions that I made in Mass Effect 1. And the decisions that I've made in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 will affect my decisions in Mass Effect 3. For example, Captain Kirrahe, if he lives in Mass Effect 1, there's nothing that really happens in Mass Effect 2. If you talk to Mordin Solus, he will say that it's great that Kirrahe is living or Kirrahe is dead. But in Mass Effect 3, Kirrahe will have an effect on Thane, which is also another follower you get. And if Kirrahe lives, Kirrahe will potentially die during a counselor assassination attempt versus Thane, who would still live. And, you know, that might not make a lot of sense, but all I'm trying to get across is that your decisions really, really matter. Especially, no matter what game you're playing, your decisions in Mass Effect 1 will affect Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. And that's a really cool aspect of the way this game plays out. But it is also a problem, seeing as if you made a prequel, your decisions made in the prequel will not affect the decisions made in Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3, because they have already been made. No matter what, they're not gonna, like, they could try to remake it so the decisions would be available in Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3, but that would take a huge update. That would take remaking of game, and people wouldn't want to buy all 3 games over again, and it would be stupid. And so they would probably just leave the prequel as it is without updating any of the Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3 games. But at the same time, that would be really dumb, because you know that no matter what, in the future, Shepard's going to have the exact same story you made him have, and it's going to be left off at that cliffhanger ending. So, you know, I'm really bugged by what BioWare is saying. They keep saying that Mass Effect players will be really excited to play Mass Effect 4, and it's going to be friendly to newcomers and people who have been playing the game for a long time. And that doesn't really sound good to me, to be dead honest. I want it to go off of Mass Effect 4. They could do a whole little story, as in the fact that Shepard was failed to be indoctrinated, and in the indoctrination theory, and it is also proven technically, in my opinion, that the Reapers did not want Commander Shepard dead, and they failed to indoctrinate Commander Shepard, so it would make sense for the Reapers to retreat a little and then sort of rebuild and then come back, because of how the so-called catalyst, that giant thing that connects to the Citadel, is there, and they're trying to destroy the Reapers. It would make sense for them to retreat, and then there would be a little bit more of a story, in my opinion, you know, because Shepard would wake up. Some people would die, but then you would still have the rest of your followers. You'd still have the Normandy. And it would just make a lot of sense to me, and it would make a lot of Mass Effect players happy. Because personally, this may seem ridiculous, but I have put a lot of money into this game. I did only pay, like, I think $30 to get Mass Effect 1 and 2 on the Xbox. I didn't buy any DLCs, and then I paid the full $60 to get Mass Effect 3 with just one DLC on the Xbox. And then I heard about this whole indoctrination theory thing again. So I'm going back through, and I'm doing my best to play the game as slowly as possible. I'm getting all the DLCs that affect the game outcome, and I am paying attention to see how this indoctrination theory can be supported. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm on Mass Effect 2, and I'm on my PC now because I switched from console gaming. So I am, well, technically I had to re-buy the Mass Effect series, and I did buy the trilogy pack, which is all 3 games plus some DLCs for 1. You get all the DLCs in 1, some DLCs in 2, and some DLCs in 3, but you could still purchase those DLCs, and that's what I've done with Mass Effect 2, and the trilogy was only like $40, but I've already put, I think, $75 into this game on my PC, and that's adding on top of the however $100-something I put into the Mass Effect series on my Xbox. And of course, there's those people who bought Mass Effect when it first came out, which when it was $60, and then they bought it again, and then they bought it again. I mean, Mass Effect 2 when it was $60, and Mass Effect 3 when it was $60, and also got all the DLCs. And that comes out to like $250, however much money that is. And that is a lot of money. It is a very popular game. I remember all games got really high ratings. A lot of people play them. A lot of my friends play them. And it would be stupid for BioWare to throw away a fan base like that, in which they kind of already have, but they still have that chance to redeem themselves. So I just really, really hope that they will, you know, fix that. So this is, I guess, my way of trying to get user or gamer opinions out there on the internet. Seeing as BioWare doesn't have any Mass Effect 4 forums going on, they're not accepting opinions really. There's forums going on in different websites, but they're kind of old, and I'm pretty certain BioWare's not looking at them. So if you agree with me, you know, feel free to share with your Mass Effect buddies, your Mass Effect friends, and sort of, you know, share this video around, because I just want to get my opinion out there, and hopefully BioWare might see, because I definitely know that BioWare has seen all the indoctrination theory videos, all 3 of them, and they have been discussed at, you know, gaming events like, not necessarily EA, but PAX. I do believe they discussed, a few fans came up and they asked the BioWare or the Mass Effect makers about the indoctrination theory, and they sort of talked about it and how they're neither going to accept it or decline it. And like I said, I'm getting all the DLCs this time, and apparently Leviathan DLC and the Citadel DLC will sort of affect that ending, so I don't quite know if the indoctrination theory is still confirmed. I'm pretty certain it is confirmed. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. Hopefully we can get this opinion shared around the internet if you do agree with me. And if you like my other stuff, or if you like this, please check out my other stuff. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video.